Ray dashes straight into the pitch-black forest, sniffing out the sharp scent of fresh blood echoing through the night, spotting a warm, dead demonic wolf cub on the ground. He realizes danger is right around the corner. Confusion sets in as mixed footsteps blur the trail. Until a sudden, blood-curdling scream from Amy echoes loudly through the trees. The terrifying adult demonic wolf brutally hurls Gary against a nearby tree, leaving him groaning helplessly on the muddy ground. The massive beast turns its hungry gaze toward Amy, slowly cornering the helpless girl, closing her eyes tightly in absolute terror. Amy covers her face and prays for a miracle, expecting the lethal joust to end her life. A sudden flash of cold steel cuts through the darkness as Ray leaps in, thrusting his blade straight into the beast's mouth to save Amy. He quickly checks if she isn't harmed while eyeing Gary's beat-up crew, before Ray can react to Amy's desperate warning. The razor-sharp claws of the demonic wolf slice right across his arm. Reassuring Amy that a tiny scratch won't kill him, Ray decides to draw the monster's aggression away from the helpless girl. Ray starts vaulting and jumping rapidly between tree branches, trying to outmaneuver the beast's brutal speed. However, his current human body proves way too weak, causing him to fall as the wolf savagely bites through the branch. Frustrated by his frail mortal form, Ray realizes he can't outrun or overpower an adult demonic beast like he used to in his past dragon life, refusing to let these humans become wolf chow. Ray grips his sword tight between his teeth and lunges forward, striking the beast's glowing eye to inflict a painfully shallow wound on his target. Ray inwardly laments his current weakness, remembering how he once tore monstrous beasts apart with his bare hands instead of relying on crude human steel. The furious demonic wolf leaps forward for another lethal strike, patiently waiting for a clean opening. The former dragon boy readies his blade to execute a precise counterattack against the monster. As the massive beast lunges through the air, Ray sidesteps with precision, channeling every bit of strength left inside his body into one decisive slash. His sword slices cleanly through the wolf's front leg, causing the giant creature to lose its balance and crash heavily onto the cold ground in a shower of dark, filthy blood. Distracted for a split second while checking on Amy, Ray narrowly dodges a desperate sneak attack from the thrashing monster, gripping his steel sword firmly with his jaws once more. Ray delivers a brutal final strike right through the wolf's throat, killing the dangerous beast instantly before collapsing onto the blood-soaked dirt from complete physical exhaustion. Lying helpless on the cold ground, Ray barely maintains consciousness as a glowing system screen suddenly pops up, notifying him of a new unlocked ability and a beast crystal reward. Dismissing the useless text, Ray glances at the unconscious siblings, realizing that leaving them behind to bleed out will only attract even more bloodthirsty monsters. Tonight, a floating blue notification window suddenly glimmers right before his fading eyes, informing him that he acquired an intermediate-grade beast crystal from the slain wolf. Ignoring the relevant system rewards, Ray grits his teeth against the unbearable pain, forcing his battered body to stand up so he can haul the injured kids back to safety. Knowing time is running out before more beasts arrive, Ray realizes he must hurry and carry the injured kids back immediately. He hoists Gary onto his bruised shoulders and scoops Amy into his arms, pushing his physical limits to the absolute brink, leaving the other two kids behind. He drags his bleeding feet out of the dark woods. Trembling uncontrollably from massive blood loss, Ray desperately limps forward while carrying the two heavy children on his back. Gary catches a brief glimpse of the red-haired boy's bloody silhouette before passing out completely. Ray pants heavily with every painful step, knowing he did everything humanly possible within his power to save lives tonight. Near the forest edge, panicked villagers hold flickering torches, anxiously worrying about the lost children. Suddenly, they spot the bloody red-haired boy staggering out of the woods while carrying Gary, and Amy collapses onto the dirt, desperately begging the shocked crowd to provide immediate medical healing for the two unconscious kids on his back. Whispering nervously among themselves, the ignorant villagers begin speculating why the kids entered the dangerous woods. A frantic mother arrives, realizing her own sons, Bob and Cale, are completely missing, losing her mind in pure rage. The hysterical mother breaks away from the crowd and recklessly charges into the dark forest to search for her boys. Terrified by the glowing red eyes of wild beasts lurking in the dark shadows, the panicked mother comes sprinting back to the crowd instantly. Shaken to her core yet desperately hiding her cowardice, she spots Ray lying helpless on the dirt, Blaming the poor boy for everything, her fear rapidly transforms into explosive, irrational hatred today. Grabbing Ray viciously by his blood-stained collar, the crazy mother violently slaps him across the face, screaming to know where her sons are. She accuses the innocent red-haired boy of luring her good children into the dangerous forest. Cursing his striking red hair as a sign of calamity, she repeatedly strikes the exhausted, bleeding child. Fueled by her hateful words, the foolish villagers begin whispering, suspiciously wondering if the red-haired outcast lured the children to die. The unhinged mother continues smacking Ray brutally across his bruised face, demanding answers, weakly opening his mouth. Ray informs her that her sons are still inside the woods, prompting her to hurl him away. Calling Ray a cold-blooded monster, the vicious woman refuses to forgive him, as the unhelpful villagers make pathetic excuses to stay out of the woods. Ray inwardly questions if these vile humans even see him as a child, snatching a lit fire torch from a villager. The enraged mother advances toward Ray, swearing to burn him alive. Ray chuckles bitterly at his pathetic end, accepting his fate as the flaming torch swings down toward his face. Right before the burning fire hits Ray, Gary suddenly leaps forward and blocks the blow, shouting that Ray is his savior. Facing the hostile crowd with a deadly glare, Gary vows to protect the red-haired boy at all costs. Reliving the terrifying confrontation with the hateful villagers and ancient executioner mages in his nightmare, Ray suddenly startles awake in complete sheer panic, sweating profusely. He looks down to see his tearful mother, Scarlet, softly holding his hand while sleeping by his bedside, leaving him deeply contemplating the beauty and cruelty of human nature today. Sitting up slowly on his bed, Ray's sudden movement immediately awakens Scarlet, who gasps in pure disbelief before wrapping him in an overwhelming, tearful hug. So relieved that her son didn't pass away, she crushes him tightly in her arms until Ray screams in pain, prompting her to tease that it serves him right for acting so recklessly. Curious about the aftermath, Ray asks how long he has been out. Scarlet reveals he slept for a whole week and recounts what happened next. She explains that the 2 kids he saved are recovering fine, but the other 2 missing boys likely perished in the woods, leaving Ray silently reflecting on the harsh cost of his desperate rescue mission. Scarlet recalls arriving at the dark woods to find villagers brutally beating her unconscious son. Though Gary bravely defended Ray, the unhinged mob continued blaming the poor boy. Exploding in rage, Scarlet unleashed her lethal mana, terrifying the villagers into backing away while she gathered her battered child into her arms and walked away from the toxic crowd. Snapping out of her painful memory, Scarlet tenderly pats Ray's head, reassuring him that Gary set the record straight and proved Ray was a true hero. Smiling warmly, she encourages her courageous son not to carry any guilt for the tragical outcome. Before stepping out of the bedroom to whip up a hot meal for his recovery today, Scarlet tells Ray it wasn't his fault since Gary explained everything, then leaves to fetch food. Left alone in the quiet room, Ray stares blankly at the glowing floating system window in front of his face, wondering if normal humans can see this mysterious screen or if this bizarre interface is an exclusive power granted only to him. Tapping the floating screen, Ray activates a unique ability labeled as the Blessing of the Dragon's Eye. Instantly, his vision shifts into a high-tech monoradar, allowing him to analyze energy flows around him, testing it on his returning mother. He freaks out after seeing her massive, overwhelming power levels lit up bright like a tactical military scan. Ray realizes this eye ability is a remnant of his legendary Red Dragon past, hyped that he can finally wield ancient magic once again, just as he inspects his beast crystal rewards. Choking thick black smoke suddenly erupts through his bedroom window, filling the house with suffocating heat as panicked villagers outside scream that the house is on fire. Scarlet rushes inside, using her wind magic to shield Ray as inferno flames devour the wooden walls. Activating his dragon eye, Ray scans the mob outside to identify the arsonist, instantly spotting the missing boy's mad mother holding a burning torch. Shocked by her sheer malice, he realizes the crazy woman intentionally set their home ablaze for revenge. Outside, the cold-hearted villagers watch the house burn, muttering that the cursed red-haired boy brought destruction upon their town once again. Ray listens to their toxic gossip in utter disbelief, his heart breaking as the hateful crowd claims the entire village will fall into ruin unless this bad-omened child is permanently banished from their land forever. Seeing her traumatized son crushed by their cruel words, Scarlet unleashes a massive blast of wind magic, extinguishing the roaring flames instantly in a single flex. She gently holds Ray's hand. Comforting him softly, Ray praises her awesome power out loud, while secretly burning with intense hatred toward the ungrateful humans who tried to burn them alive. Vowing bitter revenge against the evil villagers who wanted them dead, Ray leaves for training. He promises his mother to take it easy on his healing wounds, but heads straight to the forest instead. Standing at the wood's entrance, Ray activates his dragon eye to scan nearby weak magic beasts, ready to grind the XP and rebuild his power. Spotting an unsuspecting monkey beast munching on an apple high up in a tree, Ray sneaks up stealthily behind his target. With cold precision, he thrusts his steel sword straight through the creature's back. Dropping it instantly, he aggressively hunts through the brush, slaying monster after monster to test his restored combat skills in the wilderness. After ruthlessly slaying 20 low-tier magic beasts in a row, the floating dragon system pops up, notifying him of his loot. Ray grumbles at his bad luck, noticing he only netted to beast crystals from 20 kills. As he considers absorbing them, his attention shifts to a lonely demonic wolf pup wandering near its slain family members. Ray approaches the sad wolf pup sniffing its dead family, offering a gentle pet while telling the little guy it must stay strong now. Suddenly, a system notification pops up, offering a taming chance for the black demonic wolf pup. Curious about this strange feature, Ray taps the screen to attempt taming the monster right before his eyes. The taming process succeeds instantly as a magical glow envelops the black wolf pup. However, Ray freaks out when the tamed beast dissolves into pure energy and absorbs directly inside his own body. Panicking over potential side effects, he aggressively threatens the system avatar, warning the tiny dragon guide that he will destroy it if anything goes wrong. The nervous dragon system nods rapidly, assuring him the beast's storage function is completely safe. A new notification pops up, revealing he just unlocked another high-tier skill. Deciding to postpone checking his new power for later, Ray focuses on his original goal, determined to locate the two missing boys deep within the dangerous wilderness today. Activating his Dragon Eye spell once again, Ray sweeps his enhanced vision across the vast, mountainous landscape, scanning through thick trees and rocky terrain. His mono radar locks onto faint light signatures perched high above a distant hill, confirming that the missing children, Bob and Kale, are miraculously still alive out there right now. Arriving at a grim cave littered with skeletal remains, Ray discovers the gory corpses of Bob and Kale, completely devoured by wild magic beasts, with only bloody bones and shredded outfits left behind. Ray strips the torn clothes off the corpses and packs them into a basket, intending to use these tragic identity items for his cold revenge plan. Returning back home under the dark starry sky, Ray endures another loud nagging session from his protective mother for staying out late with unhealed wounds. Scarlet scolds him for being rebellious and dirtying his clothes, when Ray promises to train tomorrow. Scarlet reveals his father is returning in 2 days, terrifying him with her fierce motherly fury tonight. At the stroke of midnight, Ray opens his eyes in total darkness, silently slipping out of his warm bed. He sneaks directly into the dark storage barn, picking up the bucket holding the dead boy's clothes alongside another bucket brimming with fresh beast blood. Meanwhile, a mysterious late-night knock echoes at the grieving mother's quiet front doorstep tonight. Ray knocks aggressively at the crazy mother's house before quietly disappearing, opening her wooden door in eager hope. The woman discovers her son Kale's bloodied clothes left right on the ground. Spotting fresh bloody footprints leading toward the dark woods, she frantically grabs her lantern and rushes out into the night, screaming her boys' names endlessly. Driven by frantic panic, the crazy mother charges straight into the dark forest, ignoring the freezing shadows around her, scared out of her mind by the chilling wilderness. She hesitates and considers turning back, unbeknownst to her, Ray waits patiently in the high tree canopy above, preparing to pull the rope on his gruesome, calculated blood trap tonight. Sobbing hysterically, the woman searches through the thick brush, desperately screaming her lost children's names. Spotting her second son Bob's ripped shirt hanging high on a tree branch, she runs directly beneath the dark canopy. Ray grips the heavy rope tightly, waiting for the exact moment to drop his brutal payload onto the unsuspecting mother below. As the panicked woman reaches the dark tree trunk, Ray releases his grip on the heavy rope, dropping a full bucket of crimson blood directly onto her head, drenched in sticky gore. The terrified mother screams in pure horror, frantically wiping the thick fluid from her face while wildly cursing whoever set up this horrific, gruesome prank tonight. Leaping down from the branches, Ray cold-bloodedly reveals himself. The furious mother screams obscenities at the cursed dragon boy, demanding her children back. Suddenly, hungry magic beasts smelling the fresh blood swarm the clearing, stepping back with an icy glare. Ray watches silently as the ravenous monsters violently annihilate the screaming woman on the spot. The following morning, terrifying rumors about the lethal Talon family curse spread like wildfire across the superstitious village. Walking through the crowded town square with his wooden practice sword, Ray ignores the whispers. Watching the terrified villagers fake smiles and greet him politely out of sheer panic. Thoroughly enjoying his terrifying new reputation today. Arriving back at his estate, Ray notices a grand fleet of war horses parked right outside the gates. Making his heart race with excitement as he assumes his legendary father has finally returned home. Ip to show off his hard combat training results, the young boy bursts through the main door. Completely unprepared for the tragedy waiting inside. Rushing inside with a bright grin, Ray freezes upon seeing his mother weeping uncontrollably over the bed, sobbing softly. Scarlet informs him that his father, Jake, fell severely ill during his mission. Ray approaches the bedside, staring down at his bedridden, gravely unconscious father, whose face is pale as death from a mysterious, lethal affliction. Activating his dragon eye, Ray scans his dad, but his high status reveals 0 curable physical wounds. Jake deliriously mumbles about shadow monsters devouring everything. The accompanying knights explain that Jake contracted the fatal plague of shadows while selflessly protecting a defenseless villager from a sudden shadow beast ambush during their long royal quest. Expressing deep regret for failing to shield their commander, the solemn knights bow respectfully and take their leave, baffled by this strange shadow curse. Ray inwardly wonders when these dark abyssal creatures emerged in this world after his past dragon death. Realizing the current realm has grown far more dangerous and volatile than he ever remembered, Ray desperately consults his dragon system, recalling an ancient high-tier purification spell from his former life capable of instantly dispelling black magic curses. However, his current mortal body is far too weak to unlock high-grade magic. Realizing he must grind EXP and defeat powerful high-ranked magic beasts to unlock the cure for his father. Turning to his crying mother, Ray vows to enter Avian Knight Academy to grow strong and save Jake. Scarlet hugs him tightly, placing all her faith in her brave son. Meanwhile, a glowing crystal ball in a shadowy church cathedral quietly observes Ray, as hooded grand elders debate whether this prophesied boy will bring ultimate salvation or total destruction. Observing the child's glowing mana signature inside the crystal orb, the High Elder commands the Holy Knight order to locate Ray immediately. He declares that if the red-haired boy fulfills the ancient prophecy by bringing redemption, they shall guide him, but if he brings apocalyptic calamity upon the world, they must execute him without any mercy.